Okay, well then let's just go ahead and get started. I'll probably just turn on my video right after. I think there is a delay, you're right. And that's probably just because it's coming from Zoom straight to Facebook Live. And I'm gonna do another live like this on Thursday or Friday. And I will at that point try and actually just do it straight through Facebook. I think there's a way that'll let me share my screen, but that was my main concern. I wanted you to be able to see the slides. So today we are going to be discussing Facebook ads basics. So I'm hoping to be done in less than an hour, since it is just the basics, just the general knowledge of getting started with Facebook ads. So we'll go over what are Facebook ads, why Facebook ads, some important terminology, just the basic stuff, Facebook ads versus Instagram ads, Facebook ads versus boosted posts, ads manager versus business manager. Then we'll go over the Facebook ad structure, which is, I think mainly what most people want to know about Facebook ads, minus actually running the ads and getting good results from it. And I'll share with you the general ad formats, and then I guess steps of setting up your ads, the general steps. So with that all being said, this is just a quick disclaimer. This is just the basics of basics when it comes to Facebook ads, meaning you're going to get an overview and get like a basic understanding of Facebook ads, but you will not become like a Facebook ads pro after this short training. But my goal is that it makes Facebook ads a little less confusing for some of you. And I don't consider myself to be an ads expert, but I am going to share whatever knowledge I have just based on requests that I received. But if you do want to learn more advanced Facebook ads methods, I have someone that I can recommend. And after this beginning of Facebook ads, if there are more questions that I can answer for you that aren't included in this training, then we can do another live that has it. So we can just take it step by step. And then another thing to keep in mind is that Facebook ads, cannot be learned overnight. It does take a lot of practice and actually using the platform to understand it. So actually getting in there and setting up ads and running them to see how it works out. Okay, so what are Facebook ads? So if you're watching this training, you probably already know what Facebook ads are, but just to kind of give an overview of it, Facebook ads are the sponsored posts that you see on your Facebook feed or your Instagram feed, stories, your video feeds, along with many other places that you interact with on Facebook or Instagram. They're the posts that are being paid for by businesses. So while you're seeing them for free, the business or the person running the ad is paying to get your eyes on the content. So they are paid advertisements that let you target a particular audience. And we'll break all of that down in just a second. But generally, this is what Facebook ads are. And just a fun story to throw in there. When I first got started with Facebook ads a few years ago, I purchased a course that was supposed to teach me how to run Facebook ads, or teach everyone in the course how to run Facebook ads for small businesses. But unfortunately, I learned little to nothing on how to actually run Facebook ads in that course. So it was quite an experience. It was a little frustrating, but that led me into, learning more, doing more research myself. And, because I started a whole business on running ads for other people, I had to learn how to run ads properly. Okay, so why Facebook ads? So there are a lot of good reasons to run Facebook ads. I know they can seem a little scary at first, and they can be, but one good reason is that it's a really great way to build your audience, especially if you are starting from scratch. And whether you are like a coach, a consultant, or if you are selling products and you have no customer base and no audience, like no social media following, Facebook ads can help you reach people that can become your audience, and it will help you build your list. It's much faster than organic methods. And for the most part, it is much faster. which is why it costs money. So if you just actually take this Facebook group, for example, my Facebook group that you're in, most of everyone in here is here because of an ad I've been running on Facebook. So it costs money, but it's more affordable than like traditional advertising methods, which would be like selling your products through billboards or TV commercials, magazines, journals, direct mailers, all those other old ways of advertising that aren't as quick, and they seem to cost a lot more money. So now in recent times, though, Facebook ads have become more expensive, mainly because of the iOS 14 update, which gave users the choice to say no, they don't want to be tracked. So when you open up your Facebook ad, not your Facebook ad, when you open up your Facebook app, you would be asked a question that says, hey, do you give Facebook permission to track your activities off the app? So this was great for the user end. So as just regular people, it's a great thing because you're thinking you don't want to be tracked, right? But it's not so good for advertisers and the many business people that use it, because if Facebook can't track the users, it makes it a lot harder for them to know what to advertise to who. So another pro of Facebook ads is that it's very effective. So a lot of people use social media today, right? Everyone, their moms, your whole family is on Facebook. Well, most of my family is on Facebook at least. So you get the opportunity or the chance to get your ad in front of the right person, right? And the person that you're actually targeting at a lot cheaper rate. So an example would be like if you're running a TV ad, if you have a big company running a TV ad, you don't know specifically, can't target who's sitting in front of that TV. But with Facebook, because they have so much data on their users, you can actually say, I want people that are interested in this specific thing that I want to run my ad to. So going over some of the Facebook ad terminology, just the basic stuff. Facebook has provided a page that has all of the terminology for ads, and I have that link there. And I'll also, after this training, I'll include like a PDF guide that will have all the links and just all the information that was in this training that you can download. So you can check out some of the terminology there. But since this is just the basics, I just want to do the general terms. I don't want to get into all the analytic terms, because then that's when it can get very confusing. So I'll share that after the training. I'll add it into the group. So the first one, an ad account. So it's a grouping of all your specific ads activity. So your ad account includes the different campaigns you're going to be running, the ads, and your billing information. So pretty much you need an ad account to run Facebook ads. Each ad account has its own specific name and an ad account number or an account ID number. And you can have different ad accounts with the same name, but they will all have different ID numbers. Okay, so a campaign, and right now I'm just going to go over the terminology, but I'll go over some of these a little deeper towards as we move forward with the training. So campaign, this is the level within the structure of a Facebook ad. It's the top level. So it goes campaigns, then ad sets, and then ads. And ad sets will exist within the campaign. And at the campaign level, you're able to control your campaign's objective, which we'll go over soon as well. And so a definition of your objective reflects what you want to achieve with your ads. So what exactly are you trying to accomplish with running these ads? What is your goal? And you can set the optimization goal to be whatever you'd like. Okay, and then so ad sets are next in the ad structure after campaign, and campaigns. So like I mentioned before, so it goes campaigns and then ad sets. So ad sets are within the campaign, and your ad set then will include multiple ads. It can be one or more ads. And that's where you will set up like your budget as well and your schedule for the ads. And then each ad set actually within a campaign has its own separate budget unless you select campaign budget optimization, which enables it for, how can I put this that will make it sound a lot easier. So you can have a budget within your ad set. So each ad set will have its own budget. But if you select campaign budget optimization, which I will go over again later, it will distribute your budget throughout the campaign. And then you have an ad or an individual ad includes its creative. So the image or videos or the text that you use in the ad. So this is what people actually see, what the users see at the, I guess, the front end. Ads are within the ad set, and you can have multiple ads and multiple ad sets that are kept within a campaign. And then your budget, it's quite simple. It's just the maximum amount you're willing to spend on each ad set or on your campaign if you have campaign budget optimization. And let me just go and explain, I guess, the campaign budget optimization, since we were talking about that earlier. So when you have it set at this, so Facebook will use one budget and spread it along your ad sets and along or among your ad sets and among your ad. So you get to select this at the campaign level. But when you do have it at the ad set level, then your budget will be specific to that ad set. And I'm a visual person, so I do have a diagram later that I will show you how that's broken up. But that's pretty much how your budget goes. You can either have it at the ad set level, or you can have it optimized for the entire campaign. Okay, so getting into audience. So an audience is a group of people who can potentially see your Facebook ads. When choosing a target audience for your ad set, you can either create a new audience or you can use a saved audience. So whenever you create a new audience, you get the option to save the audience or save your targeting choices. So that's what a saved audience becomes. You also have the option of custom audiences. And a custom audience is an ad targeting option that lets advertisers find their existing audiences among people who are on Facebook. And I'll go over the different examples, all the different types of custom audiences that you can actually create. And then a lookalike audience are created by Facebook to help advertisers, right, the people running the ad, reach people who are similar or look like an audience that the advertiser cares about. So to create a lookalike audience, you need a custom audience or a saved audience already created. So you can have a list of your customers or people who have engaged with your business, and you can use them to create another audience of people that look like them. Yeah. Okay, I was checking your questions. I see your question there, Bria. I will answer that soon because we're going to get to that. Okay, so these are the type of custom audiences. So first one, website. So this is where, I don't know if you've heard of the Facebook Pixel, but this is where you will need the Facebook Pixel setup in order to track your audience that is on your website. So if you're going to build a custom audience of people that have visited your website, you need to have a pixel installed on your website on all of the pages or the pages that you want to track. So let me give you an example of this. So say I have my website and I have a services page on there, and you find me on the internet somehow and you're interested in what I have to offer. You go on my services page and you take a look and you're like, okay, you forget about it, or you'll get back to me later. You'll check it out again later. Well, if I have the pixel set up on my website, then once you hit that page, Facebook will track that data. So now I can go back to Facebook and say, hey, Facebook, I want to create a custom audience of people that have visited my services page. Everybody that's been on that page, I want to create a custom audience. And then Facebook will try and match. Well, Facebook will track those people. And I can now create an ad to share to those specific people that may be interested in what I have to offer. So a customer list, this is a very popular one too that you can do. So Facebook will allow you to upload a list of your own. So meaning people that willingly gave you their information. So people that gave you their email address, their name or phone number. You can actually take a list of that. So you can download that from your email marketing software or tool. And you upload it into Facebook, and Facebook will match those email addresses or the names or phone numbers with their users. And it doesn't always match up exactly perfect, but a lot of times you will get to actually advertise to those specific people. And it's kind of like when you have been on, same thing with the like website tracking, you go on a website and you were going to buy this dress and you decided, you know, I don't want this dress, or you just leave it in the cart. And then you go on Facebook or you go on Instagram, and all of a sudden you see that exact company advertising to you what you were just about to buy. So that's the tracking capability of the Pixel and of even you already giving your email. So that's how like abandoned carts, like if you put your email and the company already has it, now they have your email that they can upload to Facebook, and Facebook can actually match you and can show their ads to you. So app activity, this option just allows you to target people on Facebook based on the actions that they've taken within your app. So if you have an app, whether it's a mobile app or a desktop app, so for example, you can say you want to target the people who use your app, but maybe haven't been on there in the last 30 days, and you want to advertise to them to maybe get them back on the app. Offline activity, I believe this one's used more by like brick and mortar type businesses like restaurants or dentists and those type of businesses. So if you're operating like a store, a brick and mortar store, and you want to reach people who have been near it recently, this would be like the way to do it. You can target people based on their offline actions that they've taken in your physical store. So video, custom audience, videos based on like people that have watched a specific video on either your Facebook page or your Instagram page. Your Instagram account, pretty self-explanatory, people that have visited your Instagram account, interacted with it, liked, commented. You can actually create an audience of that as well. A lead form, this is one that is ran straight on Facebook, so you don't need like an actual landing page to get people's email addresses or their contact information. So it's people that fill out a lead form on Facebook. So they put their email, their name and email on Facebook. And so you don't necessarily need a pixel in order to be able to track them or to create a custom audience from them. Events, so people that interacted with or showed interest in a Facebook event you created or hosted. Instant experience it's a type of ad that you can run where people don't leave Facebook. So like I mentioned before, you can run a Facebook ad, you put a link and you send them to your store or send them to your landing page or your sales page. But you can also create an instant experience ad where you are, you're not sending the people off of Facebook. They're actually getting to see like a built sales page in a way on Facebook. Your Facebook page, similar to Instagram account, it's just people that have interacted. Oh, excuse me a second. In a phone call. Okay. So your Facebook page, it's people that have interacted with your Facebook page. So whether they commented or liked, you can track those people. Shopping, this is if you have a Facebook store or you have maybe even a shop on Instagram. You can, and it's a since I don't have an actual shop on Facebook and Instagram, I don't use it much, or I haven't used it, but it is one that is popular that people use because you can, target people based on different activities that they've had with different items that you've posted in your store, your online store. And then see, the Facebook listings are the products available on the Facebook marketplace. So it's similar to shopping, or like a shopping custom audience. Allows you to reach people who have engaged with those products that are on the Facebook marketplace. So shopping allows you to reach people that engage with the products on your store or in your shop, while Facebook listings is on Facebook marketplace. Okay, so going back to look to the lookalike audiences that I was discussing before, which is actually one of my favorite things to do. You can now, once you create a custom audience, you can take this custom audience and create a lookalike audience. So people that look like this audience that you've saved. So for example, you can, upload a customer list. So if you have a store and you're selling an item or you're selling a digital product, you can take the list of everybody that have purchased from you, and you can upload it to as a customer list, custom audience. And you can then tell Facebook, hey, I want you to find people that are similar to this list. And Facebook will then do its magic and will show your ad to people that are similar to people that have purchased from you before. So you can see the value of that, because of course, if you have those similar people as people that have purchased from you before, your ad results are probably going to be better. So now when you're doing that kind of list, I've been told it's best to have a list of at least 1,000. And that will just help Facebook just create a better audience for you, create a better lookalike audience. And it gives them Facebook more data to go off of, and it will just get you better results for your money. Okay, so I touched on the Facebook pixel a little bit. So this is Facebook's official definition for this terminology, the Facebook pixel. It's a piece of code that you put on your website that allows you to measure the effectiveness of your advertising by understanding the actions people take on your website. So you can use the pixel to make sure your ads are shown to the right people. So pretty much that's Facebook's definition. But what the pixel does is it tracks people that land on a site. So as long as the site has the Facebook pixel installed, Facebook can track them. A lot of people have been freaked out by this before once they find out that's what the Facebook pixel is. And pretty much any company that's running ads will have or should have a Facebook pixel installed, because it's just very effective. But one thing that people don't understand is that although Facebook is tracking everybody that lands on the page, it doesn't actually release your information to any of the advertisers. So that's something that Facebook will keep to themselves. And then they just play the middleman. So for example, if I'm like, Facebook, I know that everybody that visited my product page on my website, this other day, can you show them this ad asking them, why they didn't buy or what's their hesitation? Then Facebook will do that. So you can, as an advertiser, you can tell Facebook, this is what you wanted to do. You wanted to show it to these people of these characteristics, but you won't know like this particular person went on your Facebook page, and on your Facebook page, went on your sales page and viewed the product and didn't buy. So I hope that makes sense. So this kind of goes into actually retargeting, which is the next one there. So Facebook retargeting ads are ads that allow you to connect with users who have already interacted with your brand in some way. So whether that's through the pixel, like they landed on your website, or it's people that have interacted with your Facebook page or your Instagram page, you can retarget them and show them something that they may have shown interest in already. Conversions. So conversions are customer completed actions like purchases or adding to cart on a website. So you can think of it as you want people to convert, right? Whatever it is you're doing, and you may have heard this before, even in social media. You post something and you want people to do something, like you give them an action to do. And if they take that action, then you've converted them. So conversions can look differently. And a conversion could be someone opting in, or, you know, someone giving you their email address, their name. That could be a conversion for a lead, or it could be someone landing on the page that you sent them to and they actually purchase the product. That's also a conversion. Okay, so Facebook ads versus Instagram ads. And I'm including this one just because it's a question I've seen brought up before by people, like on Facebook, in Facebook groups and in Instagram. So they're essentially the same thing. So Facebook owns Instagram, but Facebook does allow you to run ads on Instagram alone. So you don't actually have to use Facebook to run Instagram ads. So the only problem with doing this is that you just limit yourself. You're not able to reach as many people. You won't get the advanced targeting options, and you won't get to see the full-blown analytics. So if you run your ads as Facebook ads, you will get the option though to run those exact same ads on Instagram as well simultaneously. So my recommendation always would be to run your ads through Facebook and allow them to run on Instagram if that's what you want to do. Because when you run your ads through Facebook and you run them on the in Ads Manager, you will also get the option to say where you want the ads placed. So if you don't want your ads placed on the Facebook feed, you can just select Instagram, or you can select you don't want your ads to run on in stories or run in the Facebook articles or in groups. You get those options if you are running them through Facebook. So that's mainly the difference there. So then Facebook ads versus boosted posts. So this is another question that I've seen come up before. And a boosted ad is technically, or a boosted post is technically a Facebook ad, but just like the Instagram ads, it just doesn't give you the same capabilities as running a full Facebook ad. With a boosted post, you won't get the advanced targeting options. You'll pretty much just get the same thing as you do running your ad from Instagram. But a boosted post is done on Facebook. So you can do it directly from your Facebook page. And if you are going to run, so when I say Facebook ads versus boosted posts, to run a full Facebook ad, you then will need to do that through Ads Manager. When you do boosted posts though on Facebook, you do get the option to choose who you want to reach. So you get minimal targeting. You get to select your max budget and how long you want the post, the boosted post to run for. When you run an ad through Ads Manager, which is what I mean by saying Facebook ads, you get the option to choose the different placements. You get the option to select an objective, like we talked about before. You just get to be more specific and creative with the ads. So in general, for the best results, then you want to run your ads via Facebook, right, rather than boosted posts. But I have heard from people saying that they run just Instagram ads, or they run boosted posts and it works out just fine for them. But in general, when you hear people talking about Facebook ads, they're talking about the ads that they are running from Ads Manager. So below here, what you see is actually just an example of how I've used boosted posts in the past. So like I've posted a relevant video on my Facebook business page, and then I will boost the post boost the video to get more views. So I think the last time I did this, I ran it for maybe $30, like max budget. And I think I even got more than 1,000 views. It may have been maybe 1,000 to 3,000 views around that. But I just don't recall, but it's a lot cheaper. So remember how before I mentioned you can create a lookalike audience, and it's best to have a list of 1,000 like targets or 1,000 people. So that was my plan with that. I ran the boosted post to get a minimum of 1,000 people to view it or 1,000 views. And then inside of Ads Manager, I created a lookalike audience because one of the custom audiences you can create is based on video that you post. So after I created that custom audience, I then ran a conversion ad to a lookalike audience of the people that viewed the video. So in turn, a conversion ad is a lot more expensive than a boosted post. So that's why I ran it that way. So now when I ran the conversion ad, I had a better audience. My targeting was just better. So my results were better. So that's just an example of how you can use boosted posts, but there are people that just boost the post to get more eyes on it, get more views. And if you have a call to action, you may get people to do something with that. But in general, boosted posts just get more views for you, get more eyes on your content. So another question that's come up before is Ads Manager versus Business Manager. And again, I'll try and explain this as easy as possible or make it as simple as possible. So Ads Manager allows you to run ads for your business through your business pages, your Instagram accounts, and so on. And you manage these ads within Ads Manager. So this is really all you need to run the full Facebook ads and get the advanced targeting. Now, Business Manager gives you access to Ads Manager. So Ads Manager is actually within Business Manager. Business Managers just let you do a lot more. So with Business Manager, you'll have access to, or you can have access to different accounts. So mainly, a lot of ad agencies will use Business Managers since they will be managing different pages by different companies and different ad accounts. So basically, if you are going to run ads for yourself and you just want to use Ads Manager, you can do that. It's sufficient. But if you use Business Manager, you just get more features. And the link below there, which I'll also include in the PDF download, is just an article that just gives more details on Ads Manager versus Business Manager. So it really doesn't matter which one you use, you will still be able to run ads, because when you are in Business Manager, you will still go into Ads Manager to run the ads. So this is just, I just wanted to show you how to access Ads Manager from Facebook if you've never done that before. So you just go to the menu there. And then when you hit that, the menu is this right here. It's like the little square. I don't even know how to explain that, but I have it highlighted in red. And then you would scroll down to the section of the menu that says Professional, and you see Ads Manager there and Business Manager. So that's one way that you can access both Ads Manager and Business Manager. Or you can just type in business.facebook.com and that will take you to Business Manager. And I also wanted to just give you just a glimpse into what Ads Manager looks like. So this is my Ads Manager. And like I said, this is where it can get complicated. I'm not going to go too deep into Ads Manager because we could really be here for a long time. But what I wanted you to pay attention to is at the top, the tabs at the top, you have campaigns and you have ad sets and you have ads. So those tabs are what's important to pay attention to. This is the Facebook ad structure that I'll be going over in the next slide. Before I do that, I'm just going to check the questions. Yeah, so I think the only question so far is the $5 a day. So Bria says, is that the $5 a day versus putting $100 and it randomly distributes it? Yeah, so you can have $5 a day on the campaign level, and it will distribute it among all of your ad sets, so all of your audiences and all of your ads. Or you can go ahead and select the $100 a day. You can still do that on the campaign level and it'll distribute it. The main thing is, if you are going to do it on the ad set level, you'll say, I only want $5 spent on this ad set and $5 spent on this ad set. And if you only have 2 ad sets, then that will be $10 a day that will be spent on that campaign. And I'm going to show you a visual of that in just a moment. Okay, so here's a visual of the Facebook ad structure. So kind of as I explained before, Ads Manager is inside of Business Manager. So that's why Business Manager is at the top there. But you can access Ads Manager without having Facebook Business Manager. Then inside of Ads Manager, that's where you'll use your Facebook ad account to run the ads. So if you have different Facebook ad accounts, they will be under your Ads Manager. And then you have your campaigns, your ad sets, and your ads. So I wanted to use this graphic just because it makes it a little bit smaller to look at instead of looking at that whole picture. So these are the tabs that I showed you in Ads Manager. So you have your campaign level, which is the first tab. Then you have your ad set level, which is the second tab. And then you have the ad level, which is the third tab. So you start off by setting up your campaign and choosing your objective for your campaign. So your goal of what you want to accomplish with running these ads. And I'll go over the different objectives with you in the next slide. So after you choose your objective, that's when you set up your ad set. So you can have one ad set or you can have multiple ad sets inside of a single campaign, but each campaign can only have one objective. So now the ad set level, this is where you also have the ability to set an actual ad set budget. So unless you select to have it at the campaign level, you can set up separate budgets for each ad set. And so I guess the benefit of having multiple ad sets, which would be multiple targeting options, is because Facebook ads is really about testing. So you create different ad sets. One could be more based on, people that like this or into this particular subject. And then you want to test it with another ad set and you want to watch it and see which one does better, what audience is most interested, or what audience is actually doing what you want them to do. So in general, you want to have more than one ad set that you are working with so you can test them, and you can go with the one. You can always turn off an ad set and go with the one that is running or giving you the best results. And then on the next level, you have the ads, and you can have multiple ads within each ad set. So you can have the same ad. So when you're looking at this down here, so there's campaign, then there's 2 ad sets, and then there are 4 ads. You have 2 ads in one ad set. Ideally, these 2 ads, you can have the exact same 2 ads in your next ad set. So that way it's the same ads, just 2 different audiences. And you can see also that way you can test which ad is running better for which audience. So I'm hoping I haven't lost anybody yet. I know the structure of Facebook ads can get a little complicated, but this is pretty much the overview of the Facebook ad structure when you are creating an ad. You have the campaign level, which you select your objectives. You have the ad sets, which you will either you can put your budget there, but mainly it's about targeting and selecting your audiences. And then you actually have your actual ads, so the creatives that people will get to see. So now going into objectives, which is at the campaign level, you can have just one objective per campaign. So if you are going to run different objectives or you have different goals, then you'll have to have different campaigns. So there are 3 categories of objectives. There's awareness, consideration, and conversion, with awareness being the least costly typically, and then conversion being the most costly when it comes to your ads costs. Okay, so just breaking down those categories. So awareness objectives, they're objectives that generate interest in your product or service. So increasing brand awareness is about telling people what makes your business valuable. So consideration, these are objectives that get people to think about your business and seek more information. And then conversions, these are objectives that encourage people that are interested in your business to buy or use your product or service. So ideally, the way Facebook has it broken down, ideally, you should be running awareness ads to your cold audience. So people that have never heard of you before, they don't know who you are. You want to get them warmed up to you. You want to get them seeing you on the internet or seeing your product or service. And then next on the ladder, then you would want to run consideration ads to those people that are already, warm to you, but maybe they're not yet ready to buy or to convert. And then conversion ads, these are the ads that you would run to your hot audience. So those people that have heard of you or are interested in what you're selling, or they're just generally ready to buy. But so that's how Facebook has it broken up. But it doesn't mean you can't run like a conversion ad to a cold audience. In fact, a lot of people actually do this. I've done this. You can run a conversion ad to a cold audience, but that's when it tends to be more costly because it's harder to get people that don't know you to actually like give you money, right? To buy something of yours. If they've never heard of you, people are skeptical of things, they don't know who you are. It's harder to get them to convert. But if they know who you are, they've bought a product from you, they've seen you or have taken a class from you, they might be more willing to purchase. So it can be less costly if you are running conversion ads to your hot audience, but you can definitely run conversion ads to a cold audience. And as long as your messaging is good and your ad is really good, you can get people to convert, to do what you want them to, whether that's the purchase or to give you their name and email. So those are the 3 objectives or the categories of objectives that you can run. So this is what it looks like when you go to select a new campaign in Ads Manager. So there you see the 3 different categories, and below are the actual objectives that you can select that are below awareness, consideration, and conversion. And I'll be going over these now. So brand awareness is, the objective. So brand awareness, it's your business goal for running a brand awareness ad is or a campaign with a brand awareness objective is to increase people's awareness of your brand or your service. Reach is pretty much to show your ad to as many people as possible in your target audience. I've heard somewhere, someone needs to actually see your ad or see what it is you have to offer like 7+ times before they might actually click on it or might actually, buy from you. So under the consideration category, the traffic objective is, or the goal is to send people from Facebook to any destination you choose, such as your website's landing page, your sales page, a blog post, an app, you're getting traffic to a page. I've seen people use this. They say to warm up the pixel. So if you have a pixel set up on your website, like I mentioned, maybe you have your services page, you just send a lot of people there. Now your pixel is getting smarter because it knows the people that are generally interested, that are clicking and taking a look. Engagement. The goal here is to reach people that are more likely to engage with your post. So engagement can include likes, comments, shares. And I believe they have the offers claimed from your page. App installs. So this is to send people to a store where they can download your app. Video views, we talked about this one a little bit. So you share your videos to people on Facebook that are most likely to watch it. Lead generation allows you to collect leads for your business. So you can create an ad and you then will collect. So the ad that I currently have running is a lead generation ad where I'm not actually sending people off of Facebook to go to a sales page or to a product I'm selling. I'm just collecting their name and email address, and I give them what it is that they asked for or what I promised them. Messages. The goal is to connect with people on Messenger or on Instagram Direct and WhatsApp, because Facebook owns WhatsApp also. And you can communicate with potential or existing customers to encourage interest in your business. So now conversion. So this is the last category that I said is the most costly. And so a conversion objective is to encourage people to take a specific action on your business site. So this is either having them add items to your cart, download your app, register for your site, call your business, make a purchase. Most people on Facebook are running conversion ads to get people to purchase something. So conversion ads could be like the ads that you see where someone is selling something for $7 or selling something for $27 or $37. Those are conversion ads because they're taking you straight to a sales page. And the goal is that you buy whatever it is on that sales page. Catalog sales. This is to show products from your e-commerce store's catalog to generate sales. And store traffic to promote your brick and mortar business locations to people that are nearby. And I mentioned earlier that conversion ads are more costly because you're showing your ads to your hot audience, but also supposedly Facebook knows our behaviors, which I'm very sure they do. They track what we are doing. They know who's more likely to click but will never buy, who's likely to click and will buy. So they will charge you more if you're an advertiser or a business owner that's running ads to show your ads to people that have those behaviors, people that they know will click on an ad at like 3 a.m. and might, go ahead and buy whatever it is you're selling. So that is why also they say, so traffic or the consideration ones, like you might get people that will go on your site, but they're not necessarily the people that might take action. They're not necessarily the people that are known to buy items. So that is why supposedly, which I do believe it's true, conversion ads can be more costly. So after you choose your objective, which is on the campaign level, and you set up your ad sets, you can then have multiple ad sets inside of a single campaign, but each campaign can only have one objective. And on the ad set level, this is where you will have your budgets, right? And you will get to select your audience. So because before we're talking about budgets, this is where I have it visually shown. So you have your ad sets and you can say, hey, Facebook, I only want $10 max to be spent on this ad set. And Facebook will then distribute that $10 within the ads. It won't necessarily be distributed evenly, among the ads that are in that ad set. So in this example, there are 2 ads under that one ad set, or each ad set. So one ad might end up getting $8 of that $10, and one ad might get $2, but Facebook will distribute it based on the ad that's performing better for you. People test. So if you want to know or test 2 ads side by side and say, hey, if I spent $5 on this ad and $5 on this ad, I want to know which one does better, then you would want to have the ads in separate ad sets, because that's the only way you can actually control how much exact money is being spent on an ad. So if you were to split your ad set budget, so if you have one campaign and you have 2 ad sets and you say it's $10 for each ad set, then your campaign budget, your total budget per day is actually $20 a day, since there are 2 ad sets. So now this is, if you were setting the budget at the campaign level, you can just say, hey, I want to spend just $20 max on this per day for this entire campaign and all of the ads. And then Facebook will then distribute your budget for you among the different ad sets and the ads. So you have less control. You're kind of just trusting Facebook to spend the money wisely for you. And then, if I haven't explained yet, the ads at the bottom, the ads, which are the 3rd level or the 3rd tab, is where you actually get to put your creative. So your video, the ads that you create, your text, this is what your audience will see on Facebook or Instagram. So the different ad formats. So mainly, you've probably seen all of them. If you've been seeing Facebook ads, an image ad is where it's just an image. Someone is showing you just a photo, and then of course they have their text there as well, but it's an image. That's the visual of the ad. A video ad is where there's actually a video rolling. And one benefit of running video ads is you can retarget people based on how much of the video they watched. So if they watched 50% of the video, or 30% of the video, or more than 3 seconds of the video, you can actually retarget them, or you can even create a custom audience that way, to a lookalike audience. So carousel ads are just like you've seen on Instagram, the ads that, not the ads, but like you see the carousel posts where there's more than one image. So you can create ads that way as well, where you can have more than one image. You have slideshow ads, which sounds similar, but with slideshow, you actually get to select a bunch of photos, and then Facebook will create like a slideshow video. Collection ad, this is if you have products that you're selling, you can actually run an ad of your different products as like a collection ad. One thing that's not listed there, story ads. So you can actually run ads in stories, and you can, when you create an ad on Facebook, say it's a video ad, you can use that same ad creative on all the different placements. But with story ads, it will look a little bit different, because stories are a different shape. They're like your entire screen. So you can actually create specific ads that look like stories to add in your ads manager. And then instant experience ads, I mentioned before, these are the ads where it allows people to have the instant experience, like they say, right on Facebook, and I think also Instagram, where they don't actually have to leave the platform. So it's designed more for mobile, and you can actually retarget people using these ads as well. Okay, so finally, just an overview of setting up your ad. So basically put, you want to first brainstorm and know what you're trying to accomplish, right? So this is your objective, your campaign objective. And then Next, you want to research your target audience. So you want to jot down the targeting you will use, and you've probably heard this before, but targeting is arguably the most important part of your Facebook ad. So one way I can put it is, if you are selling dog food, you can't really sell dog food to cat owners that don't own dogs, right? So you want to make sure you're showing your ads to people that own dogs, and there are different ways that you can target them based on their interests. So Facebook, when you actually create an ad, you'll get to select your interests, and based on, let's say if somebody likes Purina, the company or something, and they like the Purina page, maybe it's Purina dog food, I'm not sure, I think they probably make cat food too, but something like that, where you can actually select a target that are people are interested in this, and they probably own dogs, and then you want to sell your dog food to them. You have to get very specific with your targeting, because if your ad is being shown to people that aren't interested, of course they're not going to click, and of course they're not going to buy or to opt in to whatever it is you're sharing. So number 3, you want to gather and create your visuals. So your photos, your videos, what you're actually going to say, because those are also, I would say, the next really important things. You want to be able to catch your audience attention. So your visuals need to look good, and also what it is you're saying should resonate with them. So pretty much with those first 3 steps, what I'm trying to say is you need to have all of this figured out and organized before you even jump into Ads Manager, because it'll save you so much time, and it'll just save you a headache if you do so. So after you have all of that together, and you know what you're trying to accomplish with the ads, and of course, if you are going to be sending people to a sales page, you want to have the sales page already completed, and you have your link, because you're going to need that when you create your ad. And if you are doing like conversions, obviously, if you're going to sell something, you'll need to make sure that you have all the back end set up, like your emails that are going to go out, and also how everything's going to be delivered to the person once they purchase. So then you go into your Ads Manager, and while you're on the Campaigns tab, that's where you can select, there's like a green button that says Create. You choose your objective, and at this point you would already have all of this figured out before you get in there. You create your new campaign, you select your budget, you do your targeting and your schedule. So you set up your ad sets and your audiences, and then you go and you set up your ads and you select the placement. So if you are running it through Ads Manager, like I mentioned before, you get to select where you want your ads to run. So if you don't want your ads running on Facebook desktop, you can say, I want my ad just running on Instagram mobile and Facebook mobile. So you get that option to do that. And then finally, what you need to do next is to manage your ads. So you actually need to watch the analytics, and which I didn't get into analytics today because it's been 1 hour now and I wanted to keep this short, but analytics are very important, because this is where you get to see what your ad is doing, if it's actually converting for you, if people are actually clicking on it. There's a whole lot in Facebook Ads Manager for analytics that you can see, but this is where you get to adjust your ad. So if you're testing one ad against another ad, you can say, oh wow, people aren't really interested in the image ad, but maybe they're liking the video ad. So you can turn off the image ad and just have more of your money going to the ads that are actually working. So that's just like a basic overview of that. But are there any questions besides the one that I saw from Brea? I know there's a little bit of a delay, so I'll wait a second, see if there are any questions. And of course, if you're watching the replay of this, you can, I'm going to put this in the guides also, so you can either just comment your questions below And if you have more questions about Facebook ads of things that I didn't cover here, just because I knew it would be too long if we got too deep, just let me know and I'm happy to answer them. Okay. So since I don't see any questions right now, I just wanted to say the replay of this, like I said, will be, I'm sure the live video will save on Facebook in the groups, which is why I wanted to do it this way. So in case people were not able to join me live, they can watch it later. But I will also just include a link of it in the guide section and also include the PDF guide that will have pretty much everything that I had in the slides in the PDF, plus all the links. And then if you're interested in working with me one-on-one or learning more about my coaching program, then you can just go to simplybossing.up.com, and that just is pretty much my links page, and it just has more information of how you can book a 1-hour strategy session with me, or you can get a free coaching consultation to see if we are like a good fit to work with each other. But yeah, if there are no questions, I'll go ahead and stop the live video now. And I did really good on timing. It is 1:03. But any questions, feel free to comment in the comment section.